All right, today we're going to, this is a little short video on how to take the clutch cover off. This is a 22 Commander XMR, so the configurations on the exhaust duct's a little bit different. This video can cover the Maverick Trail, Sport, 1000R, and the new body style Commander, because they're all built on the same frame, more or less same clutches, engines, etc., etc. So there'll be slight differences, but you'll get the gist of it. To make video a little easier to see, we put it up on our lift, took our tire off. Before we get too far into it, Hunterworks makes the best belt on the planet. Got a belt to cover all these models, all the modern, when I say modern, probably, well, I don't know, 17 at least, and newer ATVs and UTVs. Check them out, best ones on the planet. All right, so to speed this video up, I've taken the liberty of taking out most of the screws on the cover, except for a couple of hard ones, and one that is hard. I already took it out. Let's talk about it a little bit. And I've already loosened up the hose clamps, just speed things up. I will say before you get started, get you a 1/4 inch drive, 5/16 or 8mm, and a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, because there's one screw that is hard to get to. If I thought I was gonna be taking my cover on and off, this bottom skid plate has a hole down in here. I would probably cut a little bit out so I could get an 8mm wrench in there, like a ratchet wrench. All right, so when we start taking screws off, while we're talking about that, let's just start. So up underneath there is a hole, and take it. If you try to use any longer socket or 3/8 ratchet, it's gonna be too long to get up in there. So this is kind of special information. Make sure you got this. For the rest of them, I like to use a flex drive on an impact. And the next hard ones, if you'll notice, there's a couple of holes in the frame because the bolts are down in there, and you'll want to go through. Put my old man glasses on. All right, going right through there. All right. Now, the exhaust duct, like I said, I've already taken mine loose. Mine's connected to a snorkel because it's an XMR model. You may be leaving this part, but in this one it was just easy to take off in both directions. Set it aside, and that exposes a hidden, we'll call it a hidden screw back in the back there. Let's take it loose. And the remaining one. You also can use a T27 if you like. It's like I said, 8mm, 5/16 or T27. We're using a 5/16. Once all your screws are out, simply pull off. You should be able to do this tire on. Like I said, we're doing this so you can see. Take off. Now the thing that you want to make sure that your rubber gasket stays in place. A lot of people that like to do a lot of mudding like to seal them up with silicone. I'm not aware of a good reason to put any kind of sealer on a rubber gasket, because most times they just don't leak. Something else I'd like to point out, which I think is a good thing, Can Am put insulation inside the clutch cover to keep noise down. Polaris does not do that. All right, so if you were coming in here doing what you're doing, change belts, we're doing the clutch maintenance, you've done all that stuff, we're gonna put it back, okay? So again, make sure your rubber gasket is in place. Pick up a couple of screws to get started with your fingers. Now, while I'm doing this, I'll say this. Been doing this for 19 years, and I've been using impacts forever. And these are a kind of almost like a wood screw type deal, and you could certainly strip them out very easy. So a lot of people cringe when I use impacts. I say this so many times because I get so many comments, but oddly enough, all my years, I've never even stripped one out, even when I was learning how to do it. So, you know, get these hard to start ones in these holes. Want to take your drive just by hand, get it started. That's a smart move right there. Get this one, it's really hard to get to with a tool. Get it started with 2 fingers. Let's go back to our 1/4 inch drive, and we'll start right there. So we'll get it up in here and get it almost tight. This is kind of a bad spot right here. I'm not going to tighten it all the way just yet. You should crisscross these just like you would a lot of things. So we're going to go the other end. I felt like that went. Go to the top, and we're going to go to the bottom. And we'll finish up, and we'll start the final tight on this bottom right hand where we just were. Everything should be even. And don't over tighten it, because these are like a little, like I said, a little wood screw. And if you're going to use a driver like I do, make sure, and I'll loosen this back up, just listen. Hear that? It bottomed out, wasn't binding, didn't over tighten it. So at this point, just continue to put your screws in, use a crisscross pattern. Like I said, if you're using an impact, like I am, just be gentle, don't overdo it. You don't strip them out, you'll have a mess. So all your screws back in, time to put your ductwork on, and I'll tell you a little secret. I got some brake clean, I've used carb cleaner, and if you just spray it in the mouth of each end, it makes sliding them on so easy. Look at that, how easy that was. And this cover has a notch here, and there's one up here to make sure you get it in the right place. Tighten them up, Phillips head, flat head. You're done, pretty easy. Hopefully the reason you took your cover off was to put one of our Hunterworks belts on. But if you got any questions or anything, give me a shout. Email me, todd@hunterworks.com. Make sure you subscribe, like, ring all that bell, all that good stuff, so you can get all the future stuff as we continue into our Can Am products. Thank you.